House Speaker Nancy Pelosi launching a formal impeachment inquiry against President Trump.
The action comes as new details have emerged about a phone call between President Trump and Ukraine's leader. We have team coverage beginning with NBC's Susan McGinnis and late news about the whistleblower in the case.
Late this afternoon, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump.
The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections.
The move is a big turnaround for Pelosi, who has so far resisted impeachment action.
The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
President Trump late today defiant in his response.
It's just a continuation of the witch hunt. It's the worst witch hunt in political history. How can you do this and you haven't even seen the phone call?
President Trump today promising to release a full transcript of his controversial phone call with Ukraine's president, amid questions about whether he pressured the foreign leader to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and Biden's son. The Washington Post reports the president ordered his chief of staff to withhold $400 million in military aid to Ukraine days before the call. The president acknowledged he withheld aid, but seemed to both deny and admit he pressured Ukraine.
There was no pressure put on them whatsoever, but there was pressure put on with respect to Joe Biden. What Joe Biden did for his son, that's something they should be looking at.
The president trying to turn the tables on Biden, who this afternoon demanded the White House give Congress a whistleblower complaint about the Ukraine call.
If he continues to obstruct Congress and flout the law, Donald Trump will leave Congress, in my view, no choice but to initiate impeachment.
And late today, word the whistleblower has reached out to House and Senate Intelligence Committees to tell lawmakers what really happened. Susan McGinnis, NBC News, Washington.
All three of our local Democrats in the House now support an impeachment inquiry.
That includes two freshman representatives who today said they support that step. Democrat Susie Lee of the 3rd District and Democrat Stephen Horsford of the 4th. Our Jeff Gillen has been looking at what both of them have to say. Jeff?
That's right. Good evening. Both Democrats represent swing districts with now impeachment possibly in the mix. Here's how Democrat Susie Lee reacted to the formal opening of an impeachment inquiry.
Listen, I think this is a really solemn day for this country.
Lee spoke with me an hour or so after Nancy Pelosi said Congress was beginning impeachment proceedings. We haven't seen this since the Clinton-Lewinsky scandals of the 90s. Here's how Lee sees what the president allegedly did.
We have a sitting president who admitted asking a foreign government to dig up dirt on his opponent.
The president has denied doing anything wrong and promises to release a transcript of his call with the Ukrainian president Wednesday. But now the I word, impeachment, becomes gasoline thrown on what was already going to be a volatile election. In Lee's case, that election happens in her swing district, where today I got an earful from both sides of the spectrum. Some people wanting an impeachment investigation.
But common sense dictates that where there's smoke, there may be some fire. It's getting a little ridiculous.
And others not.
I think they should leave the man alone. Yeah. He's doing a great job.
Lee and Democrat Stephen Horsford both today said they support an impeachment inquiry. In 2016, Lee's 3rd District voted Trump. Horsford's 4th District voted Clinton. Susie Lee and Stephen Horsford's move to baselessly impeach President Trump because they don't like him will ruin their credibility in these independent districts, said national Republicans today. It's about more than politics, says Lee.
For me, this is a decision that must be made for the sake of our democracy.
And we should know Congresswoman Dina Titus came out in support of an impeachment inquiry this past summer. Jeff Gillen, News 3.
Jeff, thank you. And as you just heard in his piece, the reaction to this is strong on both sides, and we want to know what you think. You can take our News 3 Twitter poll. Do you think President Trump should be impeached? Just head to our KSNV News 3 page to weigh in.